Good morning, Standard 10th. So let us start with today's class. Students, people around us are involved in various types of activities. Look at these pictures shown on the slide. You will notice that some are producing goods while some are giving services. Now these are just few activities in which people are involved. Like these, there are n numbers of activities that take place around us every minute. How do we understand them? One way of doing this is to group them on some important basis. These groups in which they are classified or categorized are referred as sectors. So students, the chapter that we have to start from today is Sectors of Indian Economy. That is chapter 2 of your syllabus. In this chapter, we will be classifying economic activities into different groups. But students, before starting with the classifications, let us understand the meaning of the term economic activity. Students, about this term you all have studied in standard 9th. So we will not study this in detail, but just a brief meaning. People perform a variety of activities on any given day for their livelihood. So we can say that all the activities we perform to earn living are called economic activities. In other words, these activities are related to production, distribution, and exchange of goods and services with a view to make them available to consumers and also to earn income. So the activities that we perform for which we are paid are known as economic activities. So of course students, we are paid, so these economic activities are those activities that involve flow of money in the economy, and these add value to the national income. Now here are few examples given. Let's have a look at it. The first one, employees working in a factory and receiving wages are performing economic activities. Number 2, the salespeople who visit customers and other office staff are also economically active. Now in both these examples, we can see that people are either producing goods or giving services, and for that they are being paid. So they are involved in economic activities. Moving ahead. Now let us have a look at the different groups or sectors in which economic activities can be classified and what are the criteria for doing so. So students, the first classification on which the economic activities can be grouped is on the basis of nature of economic activities. Now on this basis, the economic activities can be categorized into 3 different sectors. That is primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Moving to the next classification, the second classification is on the basis of employment condition, that is the working condition. And on this basis, the economic activities can be classified as organized or unorganized sector. And the third classification is on the basis of ownership, that is who owns that particular firm. And on this basis, the economic activities can be classified as private or public sector. We will study about all these sectors in detail one by one. Students, remember, economic activities refer to the different work that people do for earning their livelihood. And different groups in which these activities are classified on the basis of different criteria, those groups refer to the sectors. So do not get confused between these two terms. Next, students, today we will study only about the sectors on the basis of nature of economic activities. So the first one is primary sector. It includes activities that are undertaken by direct exploitation of natural resources. For example, agriculture, fishing, forestry, mining, or dairy farming. For all these activities, we are dependent on nature. Maybe not entirely, but mostly. For example, if we talk about dairy farming, then we are dependent on the biological process of animals. And also the milk that we get is a natural product. Or if we talk about minerals and ores, then these are natural products. And so the process of extracting these minerals, that is mining, will also be categorized under primary sector. Next, students, why this sector is called as primary sector? It is called so because it forms the base for other products that we make. Students, primary means something of chief importance. And if we have to make any good, then the most important thing that we require is raw material. And this sector provides us with raw material. And that raw material only forms the base. That is the most important thing. And because of this only, this sector is known as primary sector. Now, since most of the natural products that we get are from agriculture, dairy, or forestry, this sector is also called as agriculture and related sector. Now, the next sector about which we have to study is secondary sector. In this sector, the raw materials extracted through primary sector activities are processed and converted into different usable goods by involving some industrial setup. For example, making chair from wood or processing sugar cane for sugar. In these examples, we can see that the raw materials are being processed into some other goods. And the processing is done with the help of machines and in some industries. And so these will be categorized as secondary sector activities. So students, we can say that these secondary sector activities are the next step after primary. Also, the products here are not natural product. But those products have to be made. Therefore, some process of manufacturing is essential. Now, this manufacturing process can take place in any factory or industry. And since this sector gradually became associated with different kinds of industries that came up, it is also called as industrial sector. Moving ahead to the last sector on the basis of nature of economic activities, that is tertiary sector. Students, this sector includes activities that generate services for the people. Also, this sector helps in the development of the other two sectors. For example, farmers or industrialists need proper transportation facility to transport their goods from one place to another. Or they may also need proper communication facility to talk to each other. So students, we can say that this sector provides aid to the other two sectors. And few examples of this sector includes transportation, tourism, banking, lawyers, etc. Students, since this sector generates services rather than goods, this sector is also called as service sector. Students, we saw that tertiary sector includes various kinds of activities. For example, transportation, banking, teaching, or there are people who are involved in some accounting work. Since they are also providing services, so they will be also categorized under tertiary sector. Out of these, few are directly related to the production of goods, while few are not. For example, transportation and banking are directly related, whereas teachers and lawyers are not directly related to the production of goods. Students, from directly related, I mean that these services are required at some stages of production, whereas few are not directly related. This means that this refers to those services that are not required at the different stages of production. And so we can say that service sector includes various kinds of activities, one that is directly related and also those services which are not directly related in the production of goods. So students, that's all for today's class. Today we studied about the different sectors on the basis of nature of economic activities, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. This is your assignment, 2 questions. The first one, for the first question you will write the answer in your homework copy. And the next one, this is from your NCERT textbook. It's given on page number 21. You will do the second one in your textbook. So that's all. Thank you, students.